Hello everyone and welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the Valkyrie profile banner that is being confirmed to be coming to global. And the main reason I'm talking about it is because we on the JP side actually got it, and my microphone is just too far away from my face. Isn't that weird? And you may be wondering, why did I choose Final Fantasy X? Well, the title of the song, Fleeting Dream, I think is rather important for what we are talking about today, because Valkyrie Profile was something that a lot of people were not sure that Global would ever get, and to be fair, I wasn't entirely sure either. And at the current time of this recording, we do not know the exact details about the Valkyrie Profile. Now, what do I mean by we don't know the exact details? Well, here's the thing. We don't know about step-ups yet. We don't know if there are any guaranteed on it. They're definitely going to be limited time. We know that it is going to be a raid, and basically it's the same units that JP got. So, you know, this is some advice based on what I experienced during the BP event during JP's time with it, and my advice to you. And so there are three characters to talk about. The 3-star and the 4-star really don't matter here. We're going to be talking specifically about the 3 5-stars, because this is a triple 5-star banner. You have Lenneth, Freya, and Sir not appearing in this film, Arngrim. All three of these characters have their own strengths and weaknesses, so I want to go through them and talk about them, and at the end I'm just going to give my general advice about spending on this event. First of all, Lenneth. Absolute fan favorite character, and her kit was kind of a mess when it came out on the JP side. All three of I'm just going to say VP event characters. All of the VP event characters had a very specific feature which was triple casting of abilities, but with a catch. Basically, their triple casting of abilities allowed them to cast any 3 of their abilities, but only 1 of each of those abilities. They could not multicast any of the same ability more than once. And this is kind of the weakest point of all 3 of their kits, is the fact that they do have some incredibly strong abilities, but they can't double cast any of them, so it is a little bit weak. Now, in terms of Lenneth, as I fling my cable across the room, here's the thing. Lenneth had 2 types of skills, basically. She had her sword skills and she had her bow skills. Both were pretty good, but nothing really that special. Now, barring any global enhancements, the big thing that Lenneth is kind of remembered for on the JP side is for item farming. She does have a item up rate boost. Other than that, she's a cool unit to still have, but her kit was a little bit weird. Even though her super TMR is a weapon, a bow with 160 attack, which is, good, but her sword is a dark element, and this is actually pretty, decent to get your hands on. It has 135 attack, it has the dark element, so if you're wanting some dark elemental weapons, here you go, and sword is pretty commonly used for the most part. So it's not exactly the worst TMR to get your hand on, especially because a raid means that you will probably get enough TMR moogles to get this. Super TMR wise, I just think that there's nothing special about this, and it's not even good for Freya, because if you want her, TMR ability, you have to equip this sword, and this sword, for the future damage calculation, is just not that good. So Freya, cool collectible unit, but nothing in her felt super needed. But hey, maybe on the GL side there is a bigger need for a dark element sword or a strong bow. I can imagine that strong bow would be good for Aang. At least I believe it's Aang. Don't get mad at me in the comments, okay? The 5-star archer guy, who I believe is popular on the global side. Maybe that bow is super good there, but on the JP side at the time, there wasn't much need for it, so hard to pass. Now, Sir not appearing in this film, so basically Tifa. Let's talk about Arngrim. Actually, I would like to talk about Tifa in good time, but for now, Arngrim was a sword-based character. He actually has a really strong accessory for attackers. I believe it is a 55 attack with a counter on it, so it's pretty good to get your hands on at least one of these. But honestly, out of everything in Arngrim, there's only one thing that is super important, and that is his Super TMR. His Super TMR is just so incredibly valuable. I would still consider it, even to this day on the JP side, as the most valuable Super TMR in the game. That's right. Now, if you don't know, Bahamut's Tear is a elemental true dual-hand greatsword that also gives a boost to limit burst damage. At least that's what it was on the JP side. Now, I never got a single Arngrim, so I can't show anything off about it, but at the time, Hayu, who has a big fire and lightning debuff, and Bahamut's Tear, which is one of those two elements, again, comments will correct me on this. I believe it was thunder element, though. Anyway, for Hayu, it is the perfect fit weapon. Seeing how Hayu's limit burst is so incredibly powerful and he's a true dual hand unit, this weapon is basically amazing for him. But if you're going to go for it, remember on the JP side, we didn't have any guaranteed out of it. No guaranteed tickets to get a VP character of our choice or anything like that at this point in time. So it was just resource spending. And in that case, you can definitely be treated well, or you can be treated terribly on this. So I would be very, very cautious about this event. This is where maybe you do want to spend a lot to get that Super TMR, because Hayu is just such a popular character, I have heard, on the global side in friend lists. So, yeah. I mean, if you're looking for guaranteed people, Bahamut's Tear will pretty much keep your Hayu top tier for months on end, barring anything unexpected in global. And that's the best guess I can give to it, just based on the JP side. Now, last but not least is Freya. Now, Freya, this is the character I absolutely love on this event. Her TMR is a 20% MP accessory with 55 magic stat. Absolutely great, still great today, still use this on a ton of different units. This is just a very strong, easy to get your hands on TMR that is strong for mages. And considering that Global has gotten some strong mages recently with Malphacy as well as Barbie, this is probably a pretty good accessory to get some magic stats out of it. Other than that, her Super TMR, this is the thing I don't think is that great. I mean, 50 magic stat on a hat is really good, 40 defense, 50 spirit, and some status protection, 30% HP. Okay, maybe it's better than I remember. But, is it super necessary? I would say that this is the mid-level Super TMR of this, you know, at least as it was on the JP side. Bahamut's Tear is just so incredibly strong. Freya's hat is definitely strong in itself, and the bow never found any use. Now on the global side, the bow might find use with Aang. This hat might find a use, you know, just with any mage, basically. But of course, the most valuable TMR is still going to be Bahamut's Tear. It's not even close on this one. The Super TMR. The Super TMR that is Bahamut's Tear is just so above and beyond what the game should have at this point. Other than that, Freya's kit is unlike the other two units. It does have the same feature of being able to triple cast abilities, but being very selective about its abilities. In other words, you can only use one of any of her stuff. But Freya's limit burst is incredibly powerful for like just a very, very strong limit burst. This thing is absolutely kind of just awesome at the time it came out. And Freya's kit itself is pretty strong, mainly because she has an ability that can debuff Spirit, then hit with ice damage, then hit for a powerful final attack. Also in her kit, she does have a powerful cooldown ability too. So Freya is pretty strong, and in terms of the future for the JP side, well, let's just build her with a whole bunch of Super TMRs to kind of show off what she could be like. This is my first on live air building. Well, on air live recording building. It's not important. It's not important. People are just watching this video being like, well, it's not important. Maybe he edits his videos. No, he doesn't. He really doesn't. Just one take. It's incredibly difficult. To give you an idea of how strong a Freya could be with a, a fairly high super TMR build, which I do concede, of course, is always, people are like, well, I can't get that. I couldn't get this at the start either, but eventually I did. Anyway, this is what the stat cap could look like on a Freya. Now this does have, of course, Magic True Dual Hand from the JP side. Each of these is 75%. This is 30% plus Equip Rod, because the one thing that Freya cannot do is she has no weapon equip ability. So you need to get the Equip Rod to make her work. Seriously. That's why her kit is so strong and she can hit the stat cap so easy, because she cannot equip a weapon. So using a spot to get Equip Rod is 100% worth it for this girl. Other than that, yeah, this is a very super TMR build, as you can see. But the stats speak for itself, and she is incredibly powerful, even on her own. And I think that is very valuable to mention. So in terms of the VP event, should you be spending on it? Well, I mean, you have three options. First of all, if you're just a fan of VP, throw some tickets at it. Have some fun. This is supposed to be a game that you have fun at. Just spend responsibly. Other than that, Freya, if you're interested in magic, she's a great unit for her own TMR, her own super TMR, but also her kit. Out of all of three of the units in this banner, she is the unit that you will actually use. She is very valuable, very powerful, and very strong. I think even now, even though she's kind of been forgotten on the JP side. Last, Arngrim. I think Arngrim, some people will disagree. Some people do like the way he looks as well as his kit. I actually think his kit is a little bit too weak, especially with some of the stuff that has been coming out on Global recently. I think that really with him, it's TMR and super TMR fodder. But if you're going to wail on any super TMR in the game, you might as well wail on Bahamut's tier, but I am not responsible for results. Also, the spooky pumpkin is still back there. How about that? Must be Halloween soon. So yes, the VP event has a lot of good stuff on limited time units, but remember to spend responsibly. You guys still don't know if you are getting them, well, as far as I know, you don't know if you're getting the mixer system, which is a way to get prisms in the future by selling Trust-mastered units. So, yeah. So let's not even consider that. If you are going for 4 on this, do remember that the rates are not that great. These are limited time units, so you have to either commit to it or just do a little bit of pulls and get lucky. Choose which characters you really like. And of course, if there are global buffs, that will change everything here. Well, or maybe just tiny little tweaks. But regardless, I still say that Freya is absolutely worth spending at least some tickets on. She's an awesomely cool unit. And to prove that, let's take a look at her animations, okay? First of all, she has like the Kamehameha wave. She's got that charging attack. And her limit burst is, of course, Spirit Bomb. And of course, that fucking swag victory pose. Freya, I still love you. Anyway, I hope this has been an interesting look at these units, and hopefully it will help you decide if you want to spend. Take a look at the GL buffs if there are any. Not, there's definitely some stuff worth getting on this banner. So thank you very much for watching. See you all next time for another video looking at something else. I haven't forgot about the Zargabath review, I'm just not ready yet. I'm going to sleep now. See you later.